Galactic Battle is Fortnite's first mini-season for the game. It doesn't count as a Season 3, but it's new to the game and it's essentially replacing the event pass system we had since Chapter 3. This mini-season ends up being more of a refresher in a long time, like the weapon pool. While it is a bummer for it to just be a month, Galactic Battle delivered an amazing experience for its first mini-season. Galactic Battle is essentially the Star Wars season for Fortnite, and it changes the Battle Royale formula for an entire month with 4 new POIs on the 4 corners of the map: First Order Base, Resistance Base, Outpost Enclave, and Vader's Samurai Solitude. It is a negative, but what I do like about the change for this entire month was the background in the sky, as we do see Republic Venators fighting against Imperial Star Destroyers along with the Death Star just being there. Other changes include the train being reverted back to the Season 1 version and some buildings and areas in POIs and landmarks being destroyed or inaccessible from last season. What is still the same is the Loot Island and the Super Shield Medallion from last season up until update 35.20. We'll get to that later. However, the biggest change for the season was the weapon pool, because for the first time in Fortnite history, every single BR weapon has been vaulted, including ammo boxes. This is the first time that ammo boxes have been vaulted for the main BR mode, and it feels relieving to not see a single BR weapon and the ammo economy for an entire month. With that change, we do see brand new Star Wars themed blasters along with several returning weapons at the start of the season. Every blaster acts like a unique blaster from the Star Wars universe, and each one of the weapons are fun to play with. Lightsabers make a return along with force powers. At launch, you had the option to choose Force Pull or the new force power, Force Lightning. Force Lightning is straightforward, as you can cast the power of lightning among your opponents. What I liked about this season is that every week new content dropped that added new weapons and force powers to mix the weapon meta for the Star Wars season. For week 2, we had Force Pull and Force Throw. Week 3 was the Jawa Scatter Blaster and the return of the Wookiee Bowcaster from Chapter 5, and so forth for the 5 weeks of the season. Every single weapon in this season makes the Battle Royale experience feel fresh and refreshing from the usual gunplay we have seen since 2017. One of the new experiences that was added in Update 35.20 was the ability to control weapons of a Star Destroyer. It is essentially a reworked version of the Godzilla Rift, and it feels like an AC-130 already used the lasers of the Star Destroyer to get as many eliminations as possible in a limited amount of time before you are rifted off of the destroyer. With this update, sprites, shrines, and the floating island have been vaulted, which makes sense considering the sheer size of the Star Destroyer. Like literally, that thing is extra thick. The Battle Pass is great, except with the Fortnite OC remixes. While I did like the Evie remix skin at first, I did wish that it was someone else other than her, but the most hated skin within this Battle Pass had to be the Wookiee team leader, because it was so unnecessary. Other than that, I loved the inclusion of Poe Dameron and Emperor Palpatine into the game after a few years of waiting. The bonus rewards are only up to 2 pages, considering that it is a mini-season overall, but the super styles are alright, even though the reference with the color choice of yellow for the super style is a nice one to include. The bonus skin this season is General Grievous, and he looks great. They captured the look he had from Episode 3, along with giving him his Kaleesh Warlord look before his cybernetic augments. The only downside of this is that you have to earn 28 levels outside of the levels you have earned to get all the items from the Battle Pass, which is sort of like a normal thing ever since Chapter 6 started, but I do wish that our levels would carry over to the bonus skin stuff. And overall, it's just a straightforward Battle Pass. Great, but Many do agree that we wanted to see someone else that would have replaced the OC characters as part of the Battle Pass. As far as the item shop goes, we got the return of various Star Wars skins and items within the past few years, along with some new characters, Mace Windu, Jar Jar Binks, and a customizable Mandalorian to name a few. Darth Jar Jar is the second XP skin to buy, like the Aerial Assault Trooper and Renegade Raider. You do have to get 1.28 million XP to unlock him to buy with V-Bucks. And I really do agree with the majority that I would have wished that Darth Jar Jar would have been a style for Jar Jar Binks instead of it being its own skin, but Epic Games was really greedy on this one. So I do agree to the point of like all this XP stuff for the season felt like a scam. The only plus for this is that with Darth Jar Jar along with 3 other items, it is not exclusive to the season, so it can return to the item shop with or without the XP to buy all the items. The last Star Wars character to be added for the season in the item shop is Rey, another one to be honest, and it's just straightforward, but this is based off of her Rise of Skywalker look, where she had like the apprentice look and then like she had her dark side vision look from Rise of Skywalker, and it's a lot improved from the first one, but apparently this was supposed to be a part of the Battle Pass replacing Evie, but Evie was the good choice. But overall, it is what it is for Rey. I loved all the skins that were added considering it was a celebration month for Star Wars in the month of May. Now we go on to the story, and it's pretty much filler and nothing else. It is a Star Wars story after all, but with every single trilogy converging into one battlefield with the clones aligning themselves with the Rebellion and Resistance, while the Empire and First Order joining up while the Mandalorians get involved. You do tasks from certain Star Wars characters that progress the community's alignment with either the light side or the dark side of the Force. Each week had a focus on certain characters like Rey, Leia, and a band of Mandalorians to name a few that are involved in this season. Outside of the story is a restored portal that was destroyed back in Season 1 and a tease for not only the live event but for Season 3. All of this ends with a fantastic live event to wrap up the Star Wars season. I won't show the live event on this video, but if you do want to take a look at the live event by itself, I will link it down below. I liked how this story felt like 2015 Secret Wars from Marvel Comics, where all 3 trilogies converged into one place to align themselves with the light or dark side of the Force. But it felt predictable considering it is Star Wars, but it was honestly an enjoyable story overall. As far as updates for the other modes, LEGO ends up getting a massive Star Wars themed update for both modes. With Brick Life, there was a Star Wars festival where you head to Town Square to see all the Star Wars festivities while doing quests along the way. With Odyssey, however, there was a new LTM that was added called Rapid Survival, where PvP is enabled but the world you are in does not save since it is a public match-made mode. While I like the concept of the mode, unfortunately I did not get a chance to play the modes for LEGO. Aside from the new modes, there is a new LEGO Pass, and it is centered around Captain Phasma and a bunch of First Order themed decorations and sets. Let's just be real here, almost everyone bought the pass just for Phasma alone. With Ballistic, we get a brand new map and a lot of quality of life changes. The new map is called Cinderwatch, and it is the 3rd shell map where you can provide feedback on. Cinderwatch reminds me of Inferno from Counter-Strike, and it felt satisfying to play on that map. As for other map changes, both the previous shell maps had areas of the map adjusted to have openings to bomb sites, other routes to take, or certain areas blocked off entirely. Some quality of life changes have been good, bad, or janky, but one of the changes was the starting pistol being changed to the DL-44 blaster, which is in line with the season. Other changes for Ballistic include flex gadgets being available at the start for free, adjustments to credit economy, and the vote to surrender feature. That is all for all the other modes, but I want to talk about some major negatives or things that I want to criticize. One of the big negatives for this season was Epic removing some of the Chapter 6 movement entirely. Roll landing and wall kicking are no longer a part of the movement, which is odd for Epic to do considering that those two are the selling point of the new movement tech for Chapter 6. It's honestly a disappointing change Epic made, and it wasn't a fire change like Sheena made on his tweet, but a terrible change that undermines the movement for Chapter 6. And I'm just gonna be real, it just made me play the regular Battle Royale, and it just felt like Chapter 5.5. Another controversial thing Epic did was the implementation of AI through Darth Vader. Was it fun to see a lot of entertaining clips of this? Yes. However, there is a thin line of having that to entertain people but having to undermine voice actors that have put so much effort into these characters' voices, like Troy Baker as Jones or Susie Young as Hope. And yes, this is happening while we are still on the ongoing SAG-AFTRA video game voice actor strike from last year, despite Disney having full consent from the late James Earl Jones and his estate to use his voice in this manner. The last thing I want to touch on is the low player count that was dramatized by people on social media. It is true that the player count is low since a lot are on reload and it is fine, but another reason would be the resurgence of 2017's Battlefront 2, thanks to the help of not only this season but also because of Andor Season 2. And I was one of the many that made me go back to Battlefront 2, and while it has its flaws, it's still a great casual shooter you can enjoy regardless of some being sweaty. Galactic Battle delivers a refreshing season from its weapon pool, the skins, and the content drops. It was such a nice change of pace of seeing Star Wars blasters being used a lot instead of regular weapons for once. For it to be the first mini-season, it delivered in the best way possible from a galaxy far, far away, with possibly many more to come in the future. And that's gonna be it for the video. Now, before I go into my closing thoughts, I am going to credit all the artists in this video, so thank you to all the artists that have done art for this season. Now, for final thoughts, this is the most refreshing season I have played in a long time. I was honestly just burnt out from like all the Battle Royale weapon pool, and it just felt refreshing to like see Star Wars weapons being used in Fortnite, and I really enjoyed everything that dropped within this month for this mini season. It is the first mini season, and it's actually replacing the event pass system that we had, and I honestly am hoping to see more mini seasons later down the line. But I do want to pass the question to you in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on the mini season system? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is there anything that you want to change? I would love to know your thoughts down below. But make sure you guys subscribe and like this video. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone. If you are new to the channel, make sure to like the video, comment down below, click subscribe, and ring the bell for any future videos I put up on the channel.